And we are back in WCA with our second series of the night. It's going to be Alliance versus CIS Rejects. I'm Capitalist, joined by Durka. We're going to real quick show you the bracket. As you can see, Empire just won their series 2-1 against Stark. And then we go back to us and straight into the draft, because I know everyone has been waiting for this game for a very, very long time.
The Bulldog spam began about 40 minutes ago, even like midway, like just after game 2 ended between from the Empire series. But CIS Rejects up against Alliance. I really am looking forward to this one because Alliance
Also at a loss for words after that, that last series.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, Alliance have been showing that they're putting a lot of focus on sort of Bulldog's laning phase and giving him a lot of room to breathe, and definitely trying to focus on his comfort heroes. Where RK has been playing amazingly on that Lich, whether or not it's with the Bulldog Doom, just having that Lich there and causing a little bit of disruption for enemy sort of safe laners or mid laners to actually farm up. But I think you look at CIS Rejects and having Godblack, Ramses, and Iceberg, these three guys are stellar players and definitely very good at drafting. Like that again, with a lot of these sort of up-and-coming Tier 2 teams or Tier 2 teams that are trying to make that break and get into those higher-end tournaments, a lot of it comes down to draft, because you can have these really crisp plays and you can have great team fight execution, but if you don't have the heroes to actually pull this off, you can fall short. So having Godblack on this team has been a massive boost to them. And Ramses, I think, the perfect addition of both aggression and that just determination where we're going to win these team fights, guys. You just know it's going to happen. His hero pool is pretty amazing as well, from Ember Spirit to Wraith King, Slark, and then Iceberg on mid lane. His Wind Ranger in the past couple of games, almost warehouse standards. You can definitely understand why Alliance are banning out in the first one too.
Yeah, absolutely. They get the Darkseer Queen of Pain for Alliance, the Tusk Undying, though. Typical CIS through and through, true to their name. They are going to get a lot of early aggression, and the Tusk is a favored hero of that region. So,
try and get that game 1 advantage. Just go aggressive.
Yeah, why not?
So as for Quap Darkseer for your Bulldog, nothing really given away too much in setup of lanes. Like, obviously, standard way to run it is to have the Queen of Pain mid, Darkseer off lane, but you could throw these heroes around a little bit. CIS Rejects a little bit more shadowy with how they're going to run this, because Undying and Tusk, pretty versatile heroes.
Yeah, most likely one of them is going to be the offlaner. I would say the Tusk.
You could run a dual offlane, actually.
Yeah, exactly. You could technically run both of them as supports in a dual offlane, or you could run them together in a dual offlane. There are actually certain scenarios where you could keep both of these heroes in the support pool, but most likely one of them is going to be the offlaner here. The Spirit Breaker and Night Stalker are going to be banned away. Some of the other highly valued aggressive heroes that are still left in the pool that kind of mirror the Tusk and Undying and sort of their timing and objectives. So they actually take away basically any opportunities for Alliance to have that kind of play style. But they may not want to. The Darkseer is a bit more farmy. Queen of Pain is definitely a tempo controller, to be sure. But if they pick up more passive defensive supports and go for a hard late game carry, CIS Rejects may have just banned away this kind of play style that Alliance don't want to go for.
Interesting.
Alliance's turn to
the Dazzle, so another support, and they immediately get the Bane. So they take away one defensive hero and get the other.
I take away 2.
Or yeah, you're the 2. The Winter Wyvern, Dazzle, Bane. I mean, the only good defensive heroes that are left in the same kind of saving role is like Shadow Demon, and that's like so rarely seen.
Like Disruptor, Witch Doctor kinda fit into that, but not in the same.
Yeah, they don't have the same kind of single target save as like Cold Embrace and Shallow Grave is. Even Bane in comparison is like
5 seconds
he's super control oriented, but his saving mechanism, defensive sleep, very minimal. Right? It's a 1 second difference. It can do a lot, but it's a lot more situational than Shallow Grave.
Lina.
Yeah, I was gonna say Iceberg has like a 3-hero pool: Storm, Lina, Wind Ranger, and I don't think Storm is viable here. So I was gonna say right here comes the Lina, but I was a little bit too slow.
And it works really well with the Tusk. So Tusk, nice setup here with the Snowball Walrus Punch to get you to to land the Light Strike Array. And this will also mean that it's a hero that can contest the Queen of Pain in the middle lane.
The great thing about Alliance's draft so far
10
is not
seconds
only do they
remaining.
have great lanes, they have a great normal draft as well. But all three of these
5
heroes
seconds remaining.
are very good against Ramsey's hero pool.
Mhm.
Now I mentioned the Wraith King, the Slark, things like that.
Dire team pick.
Bane, Queen of Pain, like the Huskar as well for Ramses. All of these heroes are exceptionally good at shutting down or keeping them actually held in place. And Loader, his gyrocopter, pretty standard for him. Minot's Bane then, and I'm wondering something like a Keeper of the Light for Arche or something here could work pretty nicely.
Keeper of the Light, what about...
Wow,
okay.
they still go for it.
Never mind. I was going to say,
Turn to
what about a Leshrac? But not versus a Huskar. A Leshrac support to be paired up with the Bane, but that's not going to happen. You need something that actually provides you physical damage or minus armor from the support position. You may even go something like... Is
Alliances
Slardar
turn
really
to
still in the
pick.
pool?
Yeah.
Like, what about a support Slardar? Just to counter the Huskar as much as possible. I mean, he is a very distinctive direct counter to the Huskar, and we've seen Slardars in the 4 position before. It's not that rare.
I'm just wondering if, because I really like the Quat Bane to deal with Huskar with like Fiend's Grip, the pure damage from Brain
10
Sap and Sonic
seconds
Wave.
remaining.
But I guess laning phase, you want a little more pressure on him, right?
5 seconds remaining.
What about the Earthshaker? There's another melee support that is
Reserve
decent versus
time.
Huskar because he offers Enchant Totem, but he also offers, which is really good
A
versus
ton of
Huskar,
stuns.
a ton of control. Yeah. And that actually works pretty well with the Gyrocopter as a support. You get a good block off. You go for the Rocket Barrage. Or maybe they even, I mean, we've seen this before. What about this storyline where they actually changed the Gyrocopter into a 4 position? We saw Nip were facing Vega.
Yeah.
And Vega
That was
got
a 13-minute GG, man.
Vega got Huskard, but it's possible. They go to
you're right.
Slardar.
Dire team
Slaughter Dark said dual lane?
Yeah, I think so. Unless, well, actually, CIS rejects. What if they run? Is it possible for them to run an aggro try? I mean, it's possible, but would it be wise? They could do some sort of like Tusk Undying, Huskar aggro try, and then pick up a hero that does well versus Darkseer 1-on-1.
10 seconds remaining.
Like a Clinks? Does
5
decently.
seconds remaining.
Yeah. And then
But
you're
the-
not only relying on the Huskar.
The trouble is having the player to do it.
Reserve time.
Yeah.
Because
and-
Ramses usually plays those heroes.
Right.
And he'll be on the Huskar.
You also still have to worry about the amplify damage and the control of Fiend Script. Those are 2 very single target abilities.
I think we might see like a Disruptor or a Vengeful Spirit or something coming out of CRS rejects.
Something just so they run the aggro dual lane of Tusk Undying up against the Gyrocopter and Bane. Then you have a Huskar +1,
Yeah.
some sort of controlling hero, right, to be able to ensure that Huskar is able to get out the damage needed.
It'd be nice to have some kind of displacement as well. Just to
Right.
make sure the Huskar doesn't get gripped and killed.
Yeah, good call. It's really good versus Darkseer in lane. Like, his Surge is not a guaranteed out because of both Kinetic Field and Glimpse are pretty powerful abilities versus him. So, yeah.
Support Slaughter.
So we have the draft on our hands. My nuts. See how he does on this one. How are you feeling, draft-wise? Do you lean towards the Huskar? Do you think that's enough of a counter to the Gyrocopter? Because there is a lot of magic damage. There's like a bit of physical, minus armor, and pure damage. The best thing Alliance have versus the Huskar is actually control. The
Yeah.
amplified damage is amazing, but the best thing they actually have versus the Huskar is their control.
10
They
seconds
just don't have
remaining.
enough physical damage. And the pure damage from the Queen of Pain can only do so much.
I think if
5
Huskar
seconds
gets his like
remaining.
7.5-minute armlet and starts pushing into like mid-tier 1 early on, or even TPs down to bottom lane, a lot of this is going to come down to that snowball from Tusk. Actually getting the shards onto Gyro and allowing Huskar to chase
Prepare
people
for
down.
battle.
CIS Regis could rack themselves up a pretty good kill lead very early on. But they've got to make sure that they don't give away too much space up at top. You know, the trade-off always comes. If you rotate the Huskar down to bot to play that aggro lane once he's got armlet and you push into tier 1 bot, the Darkseer is free farming up at top, and there's no one here that deals with that from the Dire side.
Yeah.
You've always got to kind of weigh the advantages and disadvantages of the aggression you can get from the Huskar. Looks like he will just be heading up to top lane. Oh, they already get the D ward out as well.
Yep.
Sentry down, ward gone.
Good call by Afterlife. Go black. What is
30
Oh, he must spot
seconds
all
to
the words
battle.
and handed them off. I was looking at his I was looking at the Tango Mango
Right,
two
gold.
branches. Yeah.
Alliance really want this bot rune, huh?
Which means we're gonna have a battle between the Darkseer and the Huskar at the top lane. I don't know. The starting off the decays, like if you enter in this fight early with the decays start racking up, it's gonna be really dangerous. Minut's gonna be able to have a great stun though. 2-man stun. Now the follow-up. Iceberg getting body blocked up. He's gonna be definitely going down for first blood. Go Black battling it out. Even with all those extra decay stacks, it's still not enough to keep him alive, and he will be falling here. That's gonna be first blood.
Ramses is
Both
dying.
kills picked up, and Ramses? Oh my god, Admiral Bulldog's challenging him.
He's dead. He took spears level 1. He's got no salve. He's got tangos, but Bulldog's not going to give this up. He's going to one-punch kill.
Yep,
Slap.
he's waiting out, and boom! 3-0 for Alliance. They got the bounty rune on the Darkseer as well, so he is already level 2 before he's killed the creep.
So that good early start that I wanted to see from CIS Redux to get the ball rolling for them, really not happening.
Yeah, certainly not.
Mid lane, pretty big disadvantage for Iceberg as he's a half a level behind S4 right now. It's rough stuff, and Bulldog hits level 2 before Disruptor even sees him, you know?
Yeah.
He's already got himself Surge and Ion Shell to deal with this lane.
Yeah, fortunately the Huskar is a pretty decent hero in dealing with the Darkseer Iron Shell spam, and they can still kill the Darkseer. If they get the right kind of kinetic field and glimpse play, they can still definitely kill him, even with the level advantage. So there's opportunities for CIS Rejects to make the comeback, but it's going to be a rough scenario. S4 taking a bit of damage. Iceberg playing this well, nice and aggressive, despite his early death.
The LSA into Fiery Soul build.
Best way to be able to threaten the Queen of Pain. Even though I kind of like Dragon Slave versus the Queen of Pain just because she's got such good range, but...
It's because you went LSA level 1, right?
Oh,
For the
yeah,
fight
yeah,
up
for the
top.
fight. I forgot about that.
Because
Yeah, that
usually
makes
you go
sense.
the slave first just to like get 2 last hits on the first wave. You right click him down.
Admiral Bulldog will take a lot of damage here. The kinetic field allows an extra round of burning spears and more damage from the Disruptor. Roger actually pushing that perhaps a bit too aggressively. Is going to take a lot of damage from that Ion Shell. No real commitment. In fact, the turnaround could have been there. Why didn't he throw down the kinetic field? Roger. Oh, okay, the bottom lane Undying goes down. But Roger easily could have gotten another kinetic field onto Admiral Bulldog. And that might have actually been the kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Ramses, where are you going? Bulldog.
He's hunting Bulldog. Forces out another surge. Goes back to the lane.
This is a Darkseer with Soul Ring pre 2 minutes. Mid lane S4. They're looking for the go here.
Yeah, this is going to be a real fast snowball.
S4's got Blink. He's just going to make sure to keep those angles open. Try and stay as far north as he possibly can. They
Belina.
didn't see it come in though. They just know the Tusk is missing.
Yeah, he doesn't have mana. There's nothing they can do. I mean, if they had mana for Light Strike Array, and even that wouldn't be enough to kill S4, it would just do damage. They need both Light Strike Array and the Dragon Slave. Oh my god.
Dire's
Darkseer
top
goes down in the
tower
top
is
lane.
under
Please! Alright. I need to get into my position here, Durka. Standing up is not the
Assume
answer.
position.
Standing up is not the answer. S4 takes a little bit of damage, forced into the blink. The snowball goes out. Oh, dear. He was hoping to be able to get an extra stun, but this means Afterlife is now dead. He's going to be run down by Admiral Bulldog.
Oh,
Queen of
nice
Pain doesn't really need to
attempt.
show himself.
Iceberg tried to deny there. He's got to
Yeah.
LSA and run here, but Bulldog surges up in 3. Wonder if you go for the dive. It's like he
Oh,
does
he
with
goes
the
for the
vacuum.
vacuum. What?
Level 4 with a point in
All right.
vacuum. Okay.
I can't believe he's level 4 already. That's just so surprising to me, especially since he died. But being a part of yet another kill. Where's Roger going? I'm not sure what the plan is here with this. I'm being puzzled by the Disruptor play a lot.
Bemused.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it going, huh? What's going on? And then I miss a kill every single time. Every single time I start thinking to myself, what is Roger doing? A kill happens.
What's going on?
And then once I look away from Roger, then he gets a kill.
Oh, Godblack has been left to his own devices down here. He's only level 2 though. Then you look at the actual difference. You've got Minots coming in from the side with Sprint and Crush, but there's no one there to actually close the gap in onto the Undying. Loader happily farming himself away. Well, okay, actually just stacking and trying to pull through.
Yeah, if he ever gets caught by the sleep, he's like guaranteed dead. So even if it is just the Slardar, he never knows if like the Slithering Crush is going to allow the Bane to get in range.
They've got full vision of
Oh yeah, they just killed the ward though. Good counter ward. Takes it out for the last 2 minutes. Admiral Bulldog brought back, but the Huskar isn't in position, and this is very key. You have to have good communication between your Disruptor and your Huskar in this play, because in that sort of scenario, if the Huskar is showing himself on the creep wave, like Admiral Bulldog just can put on Ion Shell on himself and then chase after the Disruptor, knowing, okay, if your Huskar isn't here and you've just blown your glimpse, I'm going to be able to get some good harassment damage on you. And probably force the defensive kinetic field, which is a win-win.
This now puts Glimpse on cooldown for a while. Throws out the kinetic fields. Admiral Bulldog.
Yeah, kind of interesting play. Like, just trying to zone and harass Bulldog, but this dog's here. Level 5, 5 minutes 20. He hasn't needed to go into the jungle once. They've not built any stacks for themselves over on the west side of the jungle. And it's going to be a case of...
Iceberg, he's dead. Unless the Light Strike Array somehow landed and he doesn't get it. The sprint will be... Oh my god, he actually wiped out because of the sprint, the extra damage. The Laguna Blade, S4 barely managed to get that kill, but he almost dies. As the Lightning procs him down pretty low, he'll go down to about 10 HP. Not quite enough, and Roger desperately looking for the kill.
Oh, S4. Oh, he went back to stack the camp. If the Disruptor carried on chasing there, my goodness. Bulldog.
Yeah, he's going to be caught here. Snowball is going to land on him. They don't have enough for Ice Shards. Not yet, anyway. Roger, he will be caught by the stun. He sent the Slardar back to base, though, and that'll be the saving grace for him.
This entire time, though, Ramses, he's been farming away, and that armlet, you know, it's not going to be the super fast 7.5 minutes or 6.5 minutes that we've seen before from Slardar to like a couple of kills and maybe even a tower. But he's still going to get a reasonable time. Just needs to bring out the recipe to him, plus the gloves, and he's got it all done. And that's when we really start to see the pressure applied. You know, Loader has... Wait, what's he got coming in? Magic Wand.
Sorry, everybody. Looks like we went robot. I don't really know.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on. Because it's perfect in our in-ears. It's just somewhere down the line. It's being disrupted by something.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Life.
We can make it consistent and just talk like robots the entire time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the cast.
This is Dota 2, the video game.
I think you need to work on your robot voice.
Okay.
What?
That wasn't my robot voice. That's me being facetious. Please leave. I am not Mr. Destructoid.
That was better.
That's because I was kind of trying. I'm a little bit lazy with robot
I'm
voice.
sorry, Durga. Are you saying you're not trying in our cast together?
Yes,
Wow.
I hate you.
Wow.
What was that?
Listen, Durka, you'll never upset me for the #2 caster at Join Dota with that attitude. Oh, Snowball comes in. Loda's going to be hit by that one, and there's no follow-up. Iceberg just can't get there in time. Loda's so fast. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they see all those heroes at bottom, and they feel pretty okay to dive. Middle lane, go black. Are they going for it? Are they going for it? Yeah, they're going for it. Go black. Surprise! Oh, wait! Doesn't get the stun. He managed to get off the Tombstone, but he's still very dead. And Tombstone will quickly fall as well. The Tombstone just isn't the same kind of...
The 4-hit Tombstone death.
Yeah, it's just not the same anymore. The Surge goes... Oh, what a dodge from Bulldog! He got out of the kinetic field and dodged the Light Strike Array at the same time. Looks like he may still be caught, though, as he's going to be hit by the Snowball. Blocked out by the Ice Shard, so he got ahead!
Laguna.
Oh, Laguna Blade spoils the fun. Still, though, Admiral Bulldog forced a lot
That's
there.
That's kill here.
Yeah, he definitely can. He gets to sleep. Iceberg wakes himself up with the illusions. The ultimate goes out with the gyrocopter and just Roger. He almost dies there. The solar goes down. Meanwhile, Huskar makes his debut onto load up, but that's just not the play. Nearly getting crushed up. S4 not having to worry about a Laguna Blade, playing this pretty aggressively against Iceberg.
But he held the blink. Like, knowing the Lena's canceling animation there, great play by S4 just in case you want to blink aggressively again. But the first rotation from Ramses,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Huskar not
attack.
making it work. Sonic Wave popped on him, but it's the crush from Minots, perfectly timed to land. With that dunk from the life break. And this Queen of Pain Gyrocopter, their farm just starts to increase and increase. They can farm jungle, they can clear out stacks. In fact, it's Slardar. Slardar with Tranquil Boots building into Urn, who's clearing out this large cap stack,
Dire's
interestingly
top
enough.
tower is under attack.
Well, the experience is going to be really nice. Like, if he finishes up the Urn and gets his level 6 off of this, he'll be a pretty happy camper. Because then you look at this poor Huskar, and I would normally never say the words poor and Huskar in the same sentence because, let's be honest, screw that hero. But he's only sitting at 10 armor right now. And Amplify Damage removes exactly 10 armor. So he's going to be so squishy. If he ever tries to make that kind of initiation, he has to let the rest of his team go in. And oh my god, it's actually going off another time. How do we even...
No, I think that's the reply to us.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, you're right.
Yeah.
I thought it was going off again. I was going to freak out. Admiral Bulldog, he's dead. He can't even TP away because, lol, Huskar. So instead he actually puts Ion Shell onto Huskar to see if he can get some CS somehow with that.
Okay, he's got his Fiend's Grip up though. This is where Iceberg treads null. 1000 HP. He's still got jumped on though. Doesn't look like they're going for it. They're actually moving up towards top to kill off Ramses. 2 heroes up here. Are they going to move a third one as well? Like Gyro can move across to buy a TP scroll. But
If they had the Queen of Pain ultimate ready to go, I would say they could very easily win this fight. But they don't. Another 20 seconds. It's still, though, I mean, it's still the Bane in a 2-hero scenario. Like, he's so good at that. Just sleep one, Fiend's Grip the other. So if they actually get that combo correctly, they'll be able to take it. But
gotta try your hardest. One of the difficulties here, though, for CIS Rejects is they have this Undying, and it's kind of like what we saw from Empire in game number 2. You know, you've got this relatively aggressive hero who has been left alone on lane to try and sap experience a little bit. He's struggling to get into level 6, but the biggest thing is he's 0-3-1. He's got 1 assist. He hasn't really made any movements or any great strides to winning team fights for his team. The Tombstone's still going to be a threat, though, especially when Alliance start to look to dive behind these tier 1 towers, but it's go black Undying. Do you stack Ancients? Do you stack jungle camps? Because right now you can't go bottom lane. You're just going to get ripped apart by the cooldown from Loda's Gyrocopter.
right.
And there's not really any big clump up from Alliance. You know, they're going for this split kind of play. A couple up top, Loda's just farming down the bottom lane, and they've got good reactive heroes to come in and save.
I don't think there's anything they can do farm oriented. I don't think he can afford to, like, okay, just sit back up and stack. I mean, you've got a Huskar and Undying. You've got to use that armor. You've got to use the Undying advantage while you have it. Because otherwise, you're just going to get, like, picked off by Alliance, out-farmed by them because it's a Gyrocopter. You don't have the same kind of farming power on CIS Rejects. They have such early fight, and they lost those early fights.
But can you, like, at this stage, can you still force into tier 1s? Because that was always one of the biggest strengths of the Huskar, right? You force into a tier 1 and you try and make people TP into you. And you turn the fights around with a life break and you chase them and dive them. But against Sonic Wave cooldown, and then potentially Fiend's Grip from Fog, it's not the easiest kind of maneuver to pull off.
All right. We're back in business here. See whether or not they actually continue to go for the top lane. Nope. S4, I mean, Ake's here, but S4 has actually backed himself away.
I think they have to kill Gyro.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower
I
is
mean,
under attack.
whatever CIS Rejects do, they have to be the aggressors here. They can't afford to just sit back and sit on their laurels. Maybe, the TP in? They're going to try and force it. Missed out on the ice shards there. That could have been a very easy kill if he throws the ice shards earlier, blocks out the gyro, hits him with the stun, and then Nina is then there to follow up. Now, I mean, go black. He's going to be forced to throw out the snowball, or sorry, the tombstone.
And the TP rotation in.
Yeah.
This is what I was seeing from Alliance, you know. The good rotations, the good reactions from their supports is pretty good for when CIS Redux are playing aggressively, but Looks like the Dire, they're the ones on the back foot, they're the ones having to do the same thing. Now Ramses, 1,000 gold. Still waiting to see what it goes into next. Like usual thing is Helm of the Dominator. Some people like the Tranquil Boots on the Huskar to give you that movement speed. The armor's great as well. Just tank yourself up a little bit more as well. It's probably just going to be, oh, he's actually going to go finish off the magic one.
S4 caught here, gets hit by the Light Strike Array, but there's not enough damage on Iceberg to be able to finish off S4. Doesn't have the same kind of levels. If he had been level 10, would have been a different story, but...
What's S4 making? So he picks up a Staff of Wizardry, which you'd assume Yule's, right?
Dagon.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Like,
that's no way.
We used to see a lot of Yules co-op against Yule's Lena, just the fact you can sort of counter their Yules with your own one and then blink away.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
You also
tower
have
is
the...
under attack.
against the
Dire's
Huskar,
bottom tower
The
like
life
being
break.
able to catch him mid-life break is actually pretty valuable. So I would presume you'll Scepter. 3-man smoke up. Gonna go for Iceberg here. The Tombstone is preemptively out though to help clear through these camps. So when they gank, oh my god, he actually got that whole entire stack. S4 took every single one of those neutrals. They're gonna have to try and go for My Nuts here. Looks like he's gonna be taken out by the fiery spears. Ake is gonna be caught as well. S4 controlled up there as a great silence comes out from Roger, holding in both S4 as well as Loda. Ramses gets one. S4 starts backing himself up. He's got a Sonic Wave. If he uses it at the right time, he'll catch the Huskar here.
Dire's top tower
doesn't wanna
is
throw
under
it.
attack.
And S4, man, what a difference that would have made if he actually procced level 11. He probably throws out that Sonic Wave and kills the Huskar. You could see how defensive Ramses was sitting there, despite the fact that it was this great setup of Roger catching both those heroes with Static Storm. As soon as the Queen of Pain got out of the silence, it was time for the Huskar to play defensive because the pure damage could just eliminate him.
Yeah, for sure. Gyrocopter entering his first real fight, and it just didn't pay off. We've got so much disruption here from the Dire between glimpsing back, Light Strike Arrays, like Laguna Blade not even used there from Iceberg, still on
Dire's
cooldown
middle
from when he threw it
tower
onto
is under
S4.
attack.
But it just seemed all very kind of this ragtag band heading into the Dire jungle. You know, the Fiend's Grip was out there, Minot's already used his crush over on the jungle camp, cleared out the Tombstone, Scream was already gone. So everything that you kind of rely on, even though they have relatively short cooldowns, you want them to be used multiple times in a team fight. So S4, if you'd been able to get 2 Screams off there and then a Sonic Wave, 2 Crushes, or maybe even just the one
Radiant's
from
middle
Minot,
tower is under attack.
could have opened up a little bit of a better fight for Alliance. But it's Tuskar. Afterlife level 6.
Radiant's
How
top
do they go
tower
from here?
is
Because
under
bot tier
attack.
1 is going to be pushed into by Alliance right now. And Afterlife, he's getting ready to defend this one, hiding in the trees as Roger disconnects. They've got TP from the Huskar at top as well, ready to go.
Apparently Roger having some issues with his connection, but I don't know. This looks like a pretty decent fight for a lot, especially it's the bottom lane. The bottom, when Radiant is pushing in the bottom lane, it's such a clump up area that it's really hard for Dire side to be able to defend oftentimes. And it's even harder against certain these heroes. The AoE of Crush, Vacuum, Gyrocopter Ultimate, Sonic Wave. I mean, these are all big time AoE abilities in an already very a very grouped up area. I'm not sure if CIS Rejects can take this kind of fight. I know I keep saying they should be the aggressors, but if they're not the ones setting the battlefield, I don't think they can afford to take it.
Especially
It's
when they
just
have
too
to,
much of an advantage.
yeah, especially when they have to TP a couple of heroes in to defend a tower that's already on 400 HP.
Yeah.
So like the window there can be closed so quickly by Alliance just with a couple of spells being cast out. Like an Iron Shell and a Surge onto Loda running forward is going to scare CIS Rejects back. So yeah, maybe you're right. Ramsey just farms himself up in the jungle, gets himself into his treads and into his bigger items. We do have the Yule Scepter on the Lena now, but she needs level 11, so I think that's something they look for as well. Farm their own jungle for a while, push out mid lane. Yeah, They're drawing the line right now. Just try and control the map elsewhere and sack bot tier 1.
Yeah, no sense in doing anything different at this point. All right, so with Roger coming back, let's get this game going forward. I have to say, though, Iceberg, between the fight that they had plus a little bit of stacking stuff that they've done for him, Iceberg's recovery has been critical for CIS Rejects to actually take control of this game, because especially as you can't afford to have your Lina essentially drop from like a 2 position to a 4 position.
They're going for it now.
Okay, I mean, they've got the smoke on the side. This is pretty clear that the tier 1 tower dies. Alliance are kind of baiting out this gyrocopter, not showing how many heroes they have behind him. Until maybe now, the ward actually shows it. My nuts held in. Nice catch there between the Ice Shards and Kinetic Field. They'll get him, bring back S4 to the help of Ramses. They're going to try and go for that kill. My nuts is still alive until Laguna Blade. He managed to get the 2-man stun. Ramses gets taken out as the Fiends grip the bat, holding him in. Now they have to address the Tombstone. Go Black going to be dealt with real quickly with that Rocket Barrage, and Roger on the run from Ake, but they'll get that kill eventually. Double kill for them.
And My nuts
sure
survived.
enough,
The Slaughter got away with a TP.
Oh, man.
He ran across to the east, hid in the trees, and there's no one to finish him.
once he hit the 2-man stun, I was like, oh, congrats, you hit the 2-man stun, your job is done.
Time
Like,
to die.
yeah, that really should have been time to die, but wow.
Yeah,
He survives, and sure enough, CIS Rejects, that was not a battlefield you can take.
it all panned out like we said. The TP comes in from Ramses, and it looks good, but the fact that Alliance can just send the gyrocopter forward, call down, S4 blinks away, even though he got glimpsed back into Static Storm and silenced up. Now he's got a Yule Scepter plus point booster to keep him lasting through anything like that, or even cancel out the bring back. But CIS Rejects this Huskar. They're going to go for it again. Oh, do they go for a fight or do they go for a Roshan? Like, Roshan with a Huskar is a great pickup for him.
They probably do Roshan. They're so far behind at this point that you have to get an Aegis just to ensure you can win a fight. And they've got pretty good heroes to do it, obviously. Huskar, as you said, is amazing, but the Lina is really good, too. Thanks to the stun duration of Light Striker, right? Or attack speed. Looks like the tier 1 tower is going to be taken. Alliance may have an idea what's going on here if nobody shows up at the top lane. We'll find out soon.
Or mid. Like,
Yeah.
they see the Disruptor solo pushing bot, and that's quite an obvious indicator that something's happening towards the Roche pit, because you very rarely see that unless...
It's going to be a bit too late. They go for the smoke now, but CIS Rejects have been on that Roshan pit for quite some time.
They have to wait another
Playing
20
the
seconds
Aegis.
for Sonic Wave. Like, this is
Radiant's bottom
quite an
tower
early
is under
smoke.
attack.
Like, it's a late smoke for Roshan, but it's also an early smoke to go and find a fight.
Yeah.
It's this awkward timing in between the two.
I think they're probably going, okay, we're going to go Roshan, and then they pop it as the Aegis, and Roshan dies.
Yeah.
So then they're just like, okay, now you look for the
Radiant's
pickoff,
middle
right?
tower
But
is under attack.
CIS Rejects, they're not going to be caught by that. Middle lane, tier 1 tower, low. They're going to force it. Ramses easily gets that one. Tombstone laid out, though. They had no catch there on anybody. I think they were hoping just to be able to get vision, and they do. Ake sleeps himself, but he knows he's dead. I think the Tombstone was just getting a zombie on somebody, so then they could get the glimpse.
Get the little zombie
But
to
that-
chase him down.
Radiant's middle tower is under
skeleton.
attack.
It's pretty heavy commitment, and what they got out of it was not good enough. Just
Alright.
the Bane. Unless they get Loda, he managed to barely get out of that kinetic field. My God.
Now they're trying to fight. S4's from the north.
Oh, yeah, they're going to catch him. The Lina, Yule Scepter is going to be set up. Oh, a snowball save. They actually turn this one around with a Walrus Punch. They're going to try and blow up S4, but he gets off the Yule Scepter. Ramsey moves forward, goes for Bulldog. S4 still controlled, but he has to blink up in a second. Will be able to get out. Admiral Bulldog burns away as Ramses takes him out. And there goes the Aegis, but the rest of the team is being forced back. They're going to leave Huskar alone. No, they're
Have to
not.
save him.
Afterlife comes forward. Iceberg trying to help out. Fiend's grip in the back. And S4 will turn and help dealing with that one. The snowball goes out. Trying to save Iceberg. Stun will be able to finish off Iceberg in a second. He got off the light stroke array, but he ends up going down. The toss falls as well, and now it's just Ramses against the world, and he only claims one. He managed to get the kill on Ake at the end, but that's still a 4 wipe. And
killed off the
Huskar
gyro
actually
as
killed the
well.
gyrocopter because of the burn and the illusions. Or sorry, just the burn.
Just about nice Darkseer illusion.
Yeah, I was thinking Man.
Alliance still come out on top like pretty massively there. The fact that Slardar's getting closer to his Blink Dagger, S4 closing in on that Aghanim Scepter, and the Huskar dying there. Like, CIS Rejects, they see the Huskar die the first time, and then halfway through his second life, he has to pop his Magic Stick to try and Armament Toggle. And once the sort of second phase of damage comes in from Alliance, when Bane repositions, gets back into the fight, he has no Magic Stick to try and Armament Toggle either. So the Rocket Barrage and the right clicks, all that annoying spam damage is coming out, is enough to finish him off in the end. It's still a decent fight for the Dire.
Radiant's bottom tower
Just not
is
really
under
what they were
attack.
aiming for. I would love to kill off S4 at one point. 506 on his Queen of Pain, honestly. Absolute
And
champion.
the fights are going to get really difficult really quickly, too, because as the Gyrocopter starts racking up physical damage and also gets his magic immunity, he's not afraid of the Huskar nearly as much. You have this Blink Dagger, which we already talked about, all the AoE that Alliance have. Obviously, that Blink Dagger vacuum as an initiating tool can set Alliance up for the perfect team fight, essentially. Iceberg, is he going to try for it? Fakes it out. This is what we want to see. He can actually potentially get the kill on S4. Laguna Blade, another right click, he gets it. Well played by Iceberg.
And then dunk the corpse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The disrespect.
That's such a good play from Iceberg, though.
Yeah. That's always the problem with the Eul's Scepter, Queen of Pain against the Lina, is Lina, all she has to do, it becomes a mind game. She fakes you out correctly,
Radiant's top
and she
tower
gets the
is
kill.
under attack.
So I
Oh,
wonder
and-
what the chances of you using the Lina instead of yourself.
That's the other play. The next time S4 comes into that scenario, he has to Eul's Scepter the Lina in
Radiant
response,
structures are
because if you get hit by the Light Strike Array, you can still save yourself from the combo.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower has fallen.
That's the medium ground, right? Where essentially you go, okay, I have to take this stun.
Dire's middle tower is under
But
attack.
in the end, they'll still blink away.
Yeah.
Radiant's top
With that tower, Slardar will
is
get
under
his Blink Dagger. This is such a great opening to actually
Dire's
rip
bottom
apart
tower
CIS
is
Rejects,
under
because
attack.
they can swing in from the side.
Radiant
Huskar
structures
can be
are
ignored for the
fortified.
initial stages of the fight, and they can just go
Radiant's top
straight in
tower
onto
is
that
under
Lina, cross
attack.
her up, amplify. Maybe even think about killing off one of the supports, because Roger and Goblak, and Dying and Disruptor, they offer a lot, but for kind of a short period of time, right? They just throw their spells, and that's it. They don't offer this kind of sustained damage outside of their kind of pitiful right-click attacks. But if you can kill them
Dire's
before they get
middle
their
tower
ultimates
is
out,
under attack.
it's a massive component of CIS Rejects team fights layout actually gone. You can see the Disruptor going into a Glimmer Cape, trying to give himself some kind of leeway here.
Yeah, and help out some of your allies as well against that fire. They're going to go for potential kill on Iceberg. Okay, can't close that gap fast enough, though. Hoping to be able to catch Iceberg unawares, but he's just too good of a player to be caught by something like that. Ramses, with this smoke in, especially with him being the initiator, he has a halberd as well. Very likely that if he finds this, it's a fight that they win. But unfortunately, Alliance have backed out to their Tier 1 tower, and CIS Rejects start exploring the other parts of the jungle, but not going to find anyone from Alliance.
And a plate mail. Ramsey's just going to go full value with his item build. Like, he didn't even
Yeah.
finish off his treads.
I mean, he kind of has to, right? Up against the amplify damage, you've got to offset that.
Yeah.
So
Ags is done now for S4 at long last. They did kill him. 5, 1, and 6. It's Iceberg. Got some decent net worth. So, like, you look at the top 4, 10k for 4 heroes pretty much there. And then the next 2, Darkseer 8,000. They don't really have that same kind of matchup. The Dire, anyway. They've
Right.
got the Tuscan and Dying both playing this kind of 3.5 role, but not quite up to par. I also don't have anyone
Radiant's
walking around
bottom
with a mech or
tower is
anything.
under attack.
speaking of mech, Guardian Greed's going to be finished up by Admiral Bulldog pretty soon.
On top of his blink as well, jeez.
Yeah, he's real fun.
Dire's middle
Initiation.
tower is under attack.
CIS Rejects know they gotta get some sort of pick off here. Time is not their friend.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Especially, like, between the fact that Huskar, he's more early to mid game. Now, he can go late game. We've seen it before, like 60-minute games, and Huskar is still a viable threat. Sure. The problem's going to be the value out of certain of these like the offlaner comparison, like Undying will drop off. Tusk doesn't have the same kind of value that Darkseer has late game. And then there's Slaughter as a 4 position offers a lot more than anything CIS Rejects has.
And then also add into that Loda will have a full, fresh BKB for the next fight. And Roshan, did we see when the timer for the next Roche is up? A couple of minutes. Well, about 20 seconds until we find out for sure again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the BKB.
Do you get anything else on Darkseer? Besides Guardian Greaves, do you go like BKB? Make sure to deal with the control of the Disruptor. I think that would make sense.
BKB, Lotus Orb maybe? But that's more of an item after BKB. And
Well, yeah,
Greaves,
what
I
happens
guess.
if you Lotus Orb Life Break? That feels like it's not good.
I mean,
Right?
wouldn't you both go Magic Immune?
But it may not land until... I don't think...
Do you both just life break each other and the game explodes?
I think you might life break and then the other life break goes off. Stun, go black, they're going to find him immediately. Roger was so close to getting the right initiation. Loda does get hit by the Laguna Blade, but Loda is going to be able to get away. No, Ramses actually locks him down with a Fiend's Grip. Now they're turnaround, and Ramses, he may actually survive through all of this when he's going to be okay for the time being. They just don't have the physical damage to take him out, so instead they're just controlling him. They take out the rest of the team and leave Ramses all alone. Now Nuts is joining him with the amplified damage. Ramses will finally go down, and Alliance don't drop a beat or a hero.
Roshan is alive, man, as well. Look at that. Quick old Roshan. Alliance, they're low on the old HP. They need the urn, the mech, everything to heal themselves back up. Even bottle charges from S4 over onto Loda. CIS Rejects, they just get charged down. One by one, they get picked off. Like, you ignore the Huskar. He's not really a threat at the very early stages of the fight, especially when he goes for the life break onto the BKB gyro.
Yeah, I mean, they got the 5-second Fiend Script. They had Dual Scepter on him. Couple of stuns. They did a great job making sure he wasn't a factor, and it was all the easier due to the fact that he got Go Black first. Now, Ake looks like he may make himself a target. In fact, he's even going to get out because he's got Glimmer Cape, and they're going to catch Go Black. Throws out the Tombstone. Response, CIS Rejects. There is none. Now they get pulled back in right into the ultimate. And yeah, they snowball save, but they're already low enough. Light Strike right follow up. Admiral Bulldog almost goes down, but the Yule Scepter to interrupt. Iceberg, he still gets off the Laguna Blade as Ake, unfortunately, was trying to save Admiral Bulldog with a sleep and just ends up resulting in his death. Still, the 1-for-4 exchange kind of set up by Ake as he was playing interception while the rest of the team was going for Roshan.
And Ramses TP's mid to the tier 2 thinking, I can join the fight, I can clean up, and then ends up going into the jungle to farm. And he might even get picked off here. Alliance are actually moving across, maybe looking for the go onto him. Don't have vision over the Huskar though. It's just going to be the quick and easy over the tier 2. Just clean and crisp. I mean, honestly, the Slardar support has been immense in Alliance's kind of rise in this game. Without him, I don't think they would have found as many pickoffs or in the style they did. But Blink Dagger very early on. The 2,000 gold he's now managed to save up, putting him closer to that 4-staff as well. And after this Ancient Stack, Alliance, what they're currently sitting at? 12,000 net worth lead? And jump up to 15k. It just keeps accelerating.
Now got Loda with the... Well, he's about to go for the MKB, I presume. What was that item he picked up? Oh, we got the Helmet Dominator, so a little bit more sustain against the damage of the Huskar. That makes sense, but MKB should be his next item against the Bayesian strat that Huskars usually go for. He's got the Halberds, so... Loda clearing through some Ancient Stack.
What's the play here from CIS?
Oh, it's a halberd on Admiral Bulldog. So he's going to counter the Huskar directly with a disarm.
I see.
Yeah, Huskars, like, they never go BKB, right? So they're very susceptible to that kind of disable.
Nice. Makes sense. Also, the
I think
evasion's
it's even
really
more
good on him against the Huskar and Lina.
Yeah. I think it's even more valuable because the it's a longer duration unranged. Despite, you know, Huskar being a in-your-face kind of hero, he is ranged, so it's actually 4.5 second duration. That's what it is, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So that's actually so valuable. What does Huskar do?
Dire's top tower.
Throws himself at you?
Just life break.
Yeah, just life break people.
Dire's
Call it
top
a day.
tower has fallen.
Literally the definition of bodied. That's Huskar. DD, they're actually going to be able to threaten this tier 3 pretty damn easily. CIS rejects not responding just yet. Only TP's coming in.
It's all in or nothing. Like Ramsey's just got to jump. But not Loda. No. anyone,
Yeah.
like anyone puts themselves forward, you jump them, but not Loda.
The flat cannon starts dealing some damage. Loda loses some of his HP. The amp, they bring him back. Looks like Loda's going to just commit here. Give up his life, but he managed to get the slowdown. Ramses is going to go back in here. They get the catch. Loda pops his BKB, takes out the tier 3 tower, and backs out. Alliance, they know they're in a pretty good position. No reason to throw it just yet. Roger is looking for a glimpse, and he goes for my nuts. The turnaround. Oh, Sonic Wave comes out, hits on 3. Ramsey's being controlled up the snowball. They go right onto Ake, but they're deep territory now as Alina gets taken out from behind. The zombie goes for S4, managed to blink himself away. Now the team's stuck inside the trees up against Loda. Ramsey's battling it out. Can he win this one, though? He's dealing so much damage. Loda, he's not going to be able to survive. Ramsey's getting fighted out with more. No, looks like he's stunned up and he'll die eventually. Afterlife, though. He's going to go for S4. Walrus Punch up in 1 second. No, Brain Sap. Ake spoils the fun. And that's a 5-man wipe. They lost the gyrocopter, but it doesn't really matter. I can't believe that S4 got out there. Here comes the buybacks. 2 down.
He heals himself with like 15 HP and then blinks away with his BKB still up.
That was absurd.
Crazy. There's so many zombies swarming around him as well. Just looking for that kill.
Can't get it. And that's 2 buybacks just to keep their racks alive in this top lane. They don't get anything in return. And Alliance said this net worth lead of theirs was speeding up. It's definitely proven it with that last fight now. Almost a 20,000 gold lead.
You can definitely see a possible issue arising here, though, for Alliance. You know, the Sonic Wave, it was good. It went across 4 heroes, hit the Huskar at the very back, and pretty much killed off the Undying and the Disruptor at the start of the fight. You know, it dropped them very low, so they couldn't move themselves in and actually be too much of an impact. But if you don't save the Sonic Wave for that killing blow on the Huskar, or if the fight progresses too quickly for the Huskar, for the Sonic Wave to come off cooldown, you know, it's still a 40-second cooldown. If the Huskar is shredding your gyrocopter in a space of 6 or 7 seconds, then you don't have that kind of ability to just throw your Sonic Wave without keeping it for that killing blow, I think.
They had no idea where Alliance is. So when they initiate on that Slardar, they commit everything they have. Tombstone, Undying Ultimate, Laguna Blade. And all it was a 4-position Slardar. Still though, CIS Rejects got the kill. Alliance S4 has BKB and he's got 3,300 gold. Where does he go with this? Go for maybe the AC, start building some physical damage against Huskar.
Yeah, I guess so.
Make the most amount of sense to me.
What else could you look for?
Scythe is more physical damage, but extra control.
I think the fact he's gone for... I like the AC. It also gives you that option to push high ground a lot stronger as well. Let's finish off your tier 3s.
Crimson Guard. Ooh.
Wow.
Didn't expect to see that item.
Good against the zombies.
Good against the zombies. The high attack speed of Huskar. But he has relatively low damage because he's so dependent on attack speed and burning spears to dish out damage that the damage block actually makes up a decent percentage. You know, for a hero that's supposed to be the hard one. Lina attacks relatively fast, but doesn't have the greatest damage either for a mid laner. So, yeah, I like the Crimson Guard. Makes sense.
How
If you already build into the Vanguard as well, why not, right? There's a lot of value in it.
How fast is Loda getting his monkey? He's got the Demon Edge, I guess.
He's got the Demon Edge and that's it, right?
Just with like Solar Crest up on the Tusk, obviously like you mentioned before with the evasion on the Huskar, you need this. You definitely need this monkey bar.
Yeah, if you actually get, for me, it's like you look at Huskar games. If you have Solar Crest and Halberd, and you don't have a good way to control or kill the Huskar through other means, such as pure damage or physical damage nukes, you probably just straight out lose the game, right? Double evasion, no MKBs, nothing you can do. The other way around, though,
is that if you have MKB against his halberd or any other additional evasion that they have, such as the Solar Crest that you mentioned, and the Huskar doesn't have additional items like Satanic or AC to keep himself, you know, still alive against that physical damage, then it just goes the other way,
You
right?
just click him. You just click him.
Yeah, you just get him down. It looks like the AC is going to be close. Like, he can buy out the Hyperstone and only be missing the recipe right now. So he may be able to have AC before the next fight. But that's like the bare minimum. You have to have that big armor item against the MKB. Otherwise,
Is Roger waiting for Roshan?
no. He was protecting TP, I guess. He stole
TP
Loda's
is
TP.
safe.
I mean, there's no way he's waiting on Roshan, right? They have to have a timer
Waiting an entire minute
for
to see if Roshan gets the fastest spawn. Is he dewarding? Warding? That's an interesting movement. He's
Histories of life. Maybe he was waiting out the 34-minute rune. And then S4 showed up and spelled his fun.
poor disruptor. Iceberg. Finished his BKB. There's actually a good way for CIS Rejects to fight in the next little battle they've got. Just got to worry about Minuts and his initiation, because that's what's really been screwing them over, is the blink in from Slardar and the fact that they don't have a good way just to zap. You know, they can throw Laguna Blade and stuff at the Slardar, but you don't really want to, right? You don't want to burst all of your big ultimates and all of your nukes down onto that 4-roll, that 4-roll Slardar. So you want to keep it for the gyro when he BKBs up. Try and take down S4 before he gets Sonic Wave or anything like that out.
If you can get it before he does any amplify damage, though,
And just take the numbers advantage.
I think you have to.
Right, because it's negative 15 armor completely negates, you know, plate mail. It negates the armor items that the Huskar is trying to pick up.
But then how do you kill Loda during BKB?
And maybe
like
just
the-
kite him around. I'm not sure.
I guess so. It's like the big combo here is like Life Break into Laguna Blade, and you just
Right.
kill someone straight up, and they're just gone. Maybe they try and aim for Bulldog. Smoke up behind a fight. They've got some good vision to do that, you know? All across the river, so they'll be able to see where Alliance are kind of setting up for, especially around the Roche Pit, who's up in a minute and 10 seconds.
Bulldog, where are you going? What are you doing?
They're
with your
just
items?
saving, like S4's the same, they're just saving up a ton of money, they're not sure what to head into just yet.
I'm thinking, like, the BKB is still valuable, because I think the only way you really lose a fight, like, truly get trashed by CIS Rejects, is if CIS Rejects initiate on you and they get the control from the Disruptor on the Darkseer. Because I don't see any engagement that CIS Rejects, like, straight out win if there's vacuum and wall involved. Just because that sets everything up for Alliance. So him having a BKB essentially could mean that there's never that opportunity.
Are Alliance going low ground to high ground here?
Yeah, this is going to be dangerous. They'll probably see Ancients going on, but they found Iceberg. He's forced to pop his BKB, throws out the Laguna Blade immediately onto Loda, but he's going to be taken out here. Yule Scepter buys him some time, actually dodges the Sonic Wave. Ramses now comes in, gets taken to the vacuum now. Oh no, he's going to be held in by the Fiend's Grip. He goes down. The Snowball's a bit too late, and Afterlife can't do anything about that one. Now S4 comes forward. Roger just throws out an ultimate, and the kinetic field will be able to block out some of these heroes, but they still are on the track. They're going to be able to get Gold Black here, stop Roger from TPing as well, and we'll get both of these supports. Very nicely played by Alliance. 4 heroes down, didn't lose anything, not even very much HP. Only Loda went down to about half.
And when Alliance realizes there's no buybacks here, they'll just go fully for racks. There's a glyph available. There we go.
They just call it.
Yep. Yeah, there's no way, because CIS Rejects, they buy back, they defend base, Alliance go back for Roshan, their abilities back off cooldown. It's a losing battle, honestly. So game 1, it's best of 3. Alliance take it, and convincingly. That Huskar pick didn't phase them at all. I thought Alliance set themselves up very well for all of Ramsey's heroes, Slark, Wraith King, Huskar. And it's just really, I think, CIS Rejects, it's a matter of giving Ramses a comfort hero. So if Alliance already prepped themselves well before they pick that for him, never mind countering it later on, then they're in good stead.
Right. Looking good. Alliance, for me, it was the last pick Slardar that really secured. I don't think Huskar, like, if you're gonna pick it up, I'm not sure that you can really go fourth pick. I think you have to go fifth pick Huskar, just because of the fact that there are some of those heroes that are really still good counters to Huskar in the last 4 or 5 position that you're going to have to deal with. But CIS Rejects will drop this first game in WCA. We do have game number 2 coming up. We'll have a short break, and we'll be back.